Welcome to the Rewards Master live on Sunday afternoon, 2:30 Central Time, as I typically have this scheduled for. And there was a couple folks who were waiting to join in, so I hope that they're joining in. And let me know down in the comments that you're here. I'll try to give you a shout out. But today, I think that I might have struck a nerve. I struck a nerve because yeah, this topic that I put out, and I put it out on some of the discords and stuff, that was going to be my topic today, as far as the after BILT 2.0, what does the world look like of credit card points and miles? Is it a paradise or a dystopian wasteland? And so really what we're going to do is we're going to wax philosophical as far as this new BILT 2.0 world, because I really think it's going to change everything in the credit card points and miles space. And granted, for some people, it's not going to be as good. And so for some people, I don't know, it could be just incredible. There's a lot of ways that this can go. So I'm going to try to discuss it. And, as many of you who are regulars here on the channel know, I'm a professor, and one of the fields that I teach is philosophy. So I love to wax philosophical. So that's what we're going to do about BILT and points and miles, and what the world looks like after this humongous bomb of BILT 2.0, especially the Palladium card. I think that's the one that just absolutely is a absolute bomb that just changes the landscape of everything. And that's what we're going to discuss in our main event. Let me go back to some of we got 13 or 14 in here already. I know that we'll get many more. RC, the first channel member I ever had. Great to have you here, RC. Thank you for your loyalty to the channel. She says, hey, good to have you here. Ichachi81, channel member, says, waves, good to see you. Ichachi, good to have you here. Hybrid Vortex says, good day, Rewards Master. Good day to you, Vortex. Good to have you here this Sunday afternoon. I hope it's nice where you are. It's kind of a cloudy but warm enough day here where I am, so that's good. Sammy says, BILT madness. Still excited to have the Palladium, and hopefully they will get all the issues worked out. Yeah, hopefully. I mean, I haven't really had any issues the only issue I'm having is it's supposed to be gold status, and it still says I'm blue status, but everything else in my app worked pretty good yesterday. I was pretty pleased with it. Everything activated well. Dim, who's always here. Wave, say hey, Dim, good to have you. John Cutter, lots of trouble reported, not able to reach customer service. Well, I haven't tried to do that, so I guess that could be an issue. Sticky Monkey Baby, best name on YouTube, and a channel member, says Super Bop Sunday. Hey, that's a good way to put it. Super Bop Sunday. I kind of like that. Maybe I should change the name of the live to that. That's pretty good. Dem says, I'm 1000% confident BILT will move the needle despite what the naysayers have to say. Yeah. I mean, when I just put those out, and there already were Discord comments back and forth. I mean, it's just people have such strong opinions about this. Hybrid Vortex, I'm already running the first points accelerator. I am too. I turned it on right away and then spent quite a bit of money on the card yesterday. So yeah. Dem, clarifying BILT. Mike Newland. Hey, Mike Newland. Mike Newland is a channel member, but he is a top level channel member, my new Spreadsheet Warriors. And so excited to have him a part of that. Great to see you, Mike. Thank you for being a great supporter of the channel. Nuracan, how's it going all? Good to have you, Nuracan. James is here. Channel member, says, I'm about to use my BILT Walgreens coupon if I can find it. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things on there, but yeah, it's on there. I think I saw it yesterday. All right. Dim gave a $1.99 super sticker super chat. Thank you, Dem. You're always so supportive. I appreciate it. That helps me out a ton, and I appreciate that very, very much. Sammy says, you have to hit the sub for the gold, I believe. Okay. Well, that makes sense. That makes me not worried about it then. Away Again Travel. Hey, Nona. You guys know that's Nona's channel, right? Away Again Travel. And guess what? How many subs have you gotten to, Nona? She's at 112 subscribers, and she was pumped. She was letting me know she hit 112 subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed to Away Again Travels, that's my wife, Nona. That's her channel. which that's where she spends all my points and she records it. So if you haven't subscribed to that, please do that. It just makes her excited. And it makes my day to see her so excited. So it's pretty awesome. Dim, I think you'll get gold once you hit the spend. Okay, that makes sense then. Gold status should be after hitting the sub. That makes sense. I should have known that, but I didn't, I guess. Jay Wade, Rewards Master, live over the Super Bowl. Yeah, it hasn't started yet, right? So I guess the pregame show. I just want that card in the mail. It's been over 2 weeks, and then I'll be happy. Yeah, mine was later than I thought it was supposed to be, too. Damn, I have to activate another accelerator already. Oh, no way! You've already spent $5,000 in 1 day. You are the man, Dim. You are the man. A-tier 50 channel member. Hey, good to see you. A-tier says good afternoon to everybody. And Sammy says, the only issues I've had so far with Palladium is I could not add it to an online meal subscription that I uses Stripe. Okay. I'm sure there are going to be little tweaks along the way. You know, it happens. Kristen C. Davis. Kristen, good to have you here. Good to be here. Turned on points accelerator, but my card keeps getting denied. Message said, give them 24 to 48 hours. Yeah, that's weird. Mine has not had any. The first place I used it, I was at a child's basketball game yesterday for one of my grandkids, and I go to use it at the snack bar to buy her some popcorn and $2. That was my first purchase with it, and it worked fine. Way again travel. She's at 112. Okay, cool. All right. RC says, howdy, Nona. Stinky Monkey Baby. What's known as credit card roadmap this year besides spending all of Rewards Master's points? That is her entire roadmap. The entire road is Nona saying, buy this for me. And that's been her road for 30 years, more than 30 years. So yeah, that's hilarious that you'd ask about her credit card roadmap. That's crazy. Away again says, RC, hey, RC. And Tulare, great channel member, Tulare says, hello, Bop, and everyone here. Hope everyone's doing well. And away again says, Stinky Monkey Baby, whichever one he puts in my wallet. There it is. Servicio, the autograph cards are still not connected to Wells Fargo rewards and still doesn't earn Wells Fargo reward points. Well, I have it and I activated it, but I have not used it. I have no reason to because I'm getting more than 3x on everything with the BILT Palladium. So, all right, we have 39 after 7 minutes. So that's pretty good that are in here. That's great. I'm hoping it will grow today and maybe we'll get to my top ever. The most I ever had in a live was 107. But on Super Bowl Sunday, that might be too ambitious, but that would be pretty awesome if we did. So if you haven't, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't done that. And all that helps us to get more people. Any super chats, super stickers, if you do those, even if they're tiny, if they're 99 cents or whatever, that still helps to push the algorithm. Anything like that helps out a lot. All right, so let me put up the slides for today. And we're basically just going to do the centerpiece today, and maybe we'll get into some other stuff, but I think it's going to be pretty controversial, but to me, it's just obvious and people aren't talking about it or noticing it. So in new developments, this one's been floating around. I've seen like 4 videos on this in the last 2 days, but I loved Luke's Points and Miles. He talked about this in his live. I think it was Thursday night. People were getting up in arms because the Amex Platinum has raised their spend from $8,000 in 6 months to $12,000 in 6 months. And they haven't changed the sign-up bonus. It's up to $175,000. Now, let me just say, I just don't think that this is a big deal. I mean, it's $12,000, but it's 6 months. I mean, those of us who play the game with Amex's business cards, business gold, business platinum, we're often having to spend $15,000 or $20,000 in 3 months to get those sign-up bonuses. I mean, that's pretty common. So to me, a $12,000 in 6 months, I mean, how is that any different? A lot of the cards are $6,000 in 3 months. So how is $12,000 in 6 months really that much different than $6,000 in 3 months? And that's what, like, if you go to get the Strategy Elite card, it's going to be $6,000 in 3 months. Some of the others are too. So, I mean, I guess that I just don't understand all the big deal about this. frankly, if you probably can't do 12,000 spend in 6 months, maybe the Amex Platinum may not be the card for you, because that card is intended for people who can put a lot of money on their cards. So, I mean, I don't put a lot of money on a platinum card because it's a perks card for me, not a spending card, but it makes sense why they want to spend. And I just don't think it's a big deal. Let me know if you disagree or if you agree, but I just don't think it's a big deal. Okay. Hybrid Vortex said, I wonder if we are getting 9x now with the TPG bonus with the 3x plus the points accelerator. I don't know. I mean, all my stuff is pending, but as soon as I'm hoping tomorrow, some stuff will come out of pending and I'll be able to see on the app what I actually earned on those purchases. So that'll be interesting to know. I mean, because supposedly it seems like everybody's kind of getting the bonus because they had a little mess up with who they could apply it to and not. So I don't know how that's going to work out, but we're just going to have to wait and see. Brian Warren, love BILT so far. Transferred all my 1x spend and miscellaneous spend to BILT for 3x with the accelerator. Curious about Plastique for truck payment not working. May make platinum this year. $4,000 mortgage. Oh, baby, you're about to get a lot of points with a $4,000 mortgage. Mine's probably half that because I just don't have a high mortgage. I mean, been in this house a long time. So that's the deal, is that the higher your mortgage, and if you're a high spender, it's going to be a super, super rewarding situation. Charvicio gifted 1 Rewards Master membership. Thank you so much for that. That helps the algorithm a ton, and I appreciate it. And let's see. Yep, it's already made a difference. There's 45 watching right now. So that's awesome. 19 have hit the like or button as well. Family Travel John. Hey, John says happy Sunday to all. He's a channel member. Good to have you here. Nuracan, can you pay mortgage anytime or you want on BILT, or does it have to be on the first of every month? It doesn't have to be on the first of every month because I paid a little test amount yesterday. Because BILT found my mortgage. I didn't even have to put it all in there. They knew where my mortgage was, and I even checked the number. But I don't want to do that on my big mortgage payment. So I just did like a $25 test. So I'm going to check it out. But I did put it in yesterday. So I think you can for sure. Or can. Okay, KRS says, especially in the first half of the year. Okay. Servicio, most people who have the platinum could barely afford it. 12,000 in 6 months is every dollar spend that they have on all those cards combined. Yeah, that's probably why. But really, honestly, they probably, and I'm not insulting somebody for that. I mean, we've all had those times in our lives. But when I was at that stage in my life, if I only had $2,000 total of spending every month, I didn't need a platinum card. I mean, I didn't need it. So, RC, I think 12,000 in 6 months is pretty different than 6,000 in 3 months. Because a lot of times people do a sign-up bonus when they have a big spend coming up. Harder to sustain over 6 months. Okay, that's fair, RC. I mean, I'll be gracious about that. I mean, to me, it's not a big deal, but you're my first channel member ever, so I'm going to give you credit on that one. But I see your point about it being a card for high spenders. Yeah. On the other hand, though, let me say this. It could be it could actually be easier because you have longer to do it as well. That's a way to look at it. So you could get it before you had big spend. Like if you knew something big was coming up 4 months from now, you could get it and be spending on it and then be that much more prepared when the big spend happens. So Filmo, the card churner supreme himself. Filmo says, was it the empty Capital One lounge at JFK Friday night and today? Their plan to limit lounge accessing is working perfectly. Hope other issues follow this lead. All right. Well, I pretty much always go into the co-branded lounges with the airlines most of the time, and they're never over capacity. So that's kind of my case all the time. Cesar says, good afternoon, everyone. Hey, Cesar, if you haven't checked out his channel, it's a Spanish channel. It's great. He was the host of our Puerto Rico meetup. Fantastic. Cesar says 12K in 6 months is reasonable for that type of card. That's exactly my point. Big Kurt, channel member, gave $2. Thank you so much, Big Kurt. Appreciate that, my friend. That helps us. Oh, we got 53 watching and 30 likes. And then these super chats, even if they're small, that helps the algorithm. It'd be really awesome if we could reach the highest number ever today. I've had 107 before. That's the most ever. Cesar, minimum spend sends the message for the type of consumer the card is made for. I think that it absolutely does. 100%. Levinus, the finest. All right, the finest. That's pretty cool. Channel member. I don't get the big deal with the 12K. It's 6 months, not 3. My car insurance alone is a quarter of that. Yeah, I mean, we used to live in Michigan, and our car insurance was so expensive that I could have hit sign-up bonuses with just my car insurance. I mean, just some places it's higher than others, and for some people it's higher. All right, 55 watching, 31 have hit the like button. We've had a couple little super chats, super stickers. That helps us to get there. Great stuff. Thank y'all. Now let's get into the main event, the centerpiece and the point of contention. Centerpiece, life after BILT 2.0, waxing philosophical. As I've told you before, I'm a professor. One of the subjects I teach is philosophy, and I love to wax philosophical. I love to think about things from the kind of the wider spread perspective and what this all means and why and what will it impact more than just my emotional reaction to something in the moment. And so that's what I'm going to try to do with this. So kind of follow with me and let's discuss it back and forth as we go through. Why is everything changing because of BILT? Well, some people, I know there were some comments just from me posting the topic of this live in the Discords that some people are like, it ain't going to change nothing because they ain't get that many users. And maybe that's true. You know, I got some smart people that said that. But I think, and when I look at it, and this is just from my math mind, and I want to give a qualifier here. I hear so many videos and so many comments and so many people say things like, and people would say that about me. I don't say it about myself, but people would say, oh, the rewards master, Bop, he is an American Airlines fanboy. Or they would say, oh, he is a Citi fanboy or something like that, right? That's kind of the terminology people use. But let me be very, very clear. Bop is a Bop fanboy. Now, I don't mean that like I don't care about anybody else. Of course I do. I mean, Nona spends all my points and miles. Obviously I do. My point is, though, is that I think there's really too much fandom going on in this world. It is a financial relationship with a bank or an airline or a hotel chain. I am going to fly the airline that gives me the most benefits and the most perks, period. Because I'm not loyal to them before I'm loyal to myself. I'm going to use the bank that gives me the most benefits, period. I'm not going to choose a bank because, oh, they're, you know, I like the way their card looks, or they've got the best lobbies, you know, in their branches, or I mean, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to choose the one that's most beneficial. I'm going to choose the hotel program based upon what it gives me. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that we should be selfish. We should be kind and generous to people, but we're not talking about people. We're talking about corporations. And when it comes to these corporations, I just hear so much, well, I'm this kind of fan, or I'm this kind of fan. And yes, I have talked really strongly about Citi, and I've talked really strongly about AA, but I will switch just like that in a heartbeat tomorrow. In fact, I have. I mean, I'm a Citi guy. I still have some Citi benefits. If I didn't have the Citi Prestige card, I would be much less a Citi person. And other people can't get the Citi Prestige card. I am a Citi guy because Citi paid me a lot of points for my spend. And because they have transfer partners that give me great cent per point for my travel. That's why I was a fan. And, you know, that can change on a dime. When it comes to airlines, American Airlines, I've been a big fan. But you never heard me a year and a half ago talk about Alaska points at all. But when I found out how good Alaska points were, I talk about Alaska a lot. Changed on a dime. And I'm telling you, like Delta, there's a lot of Delta fans. And that just, I've been a platinum flyer with Delta for a number of years. I know Delta Airlines. I've been in every one of the sky clubs in Atlanta so many times I can't even count. I know Delta. And people will defend Delta because, well, I get so many upgrades with my silver status. No, no. Comfort Plus is not an upgrade. It's just not. I'm sorry. It's the same as main cabin extra with American, that they just let you book for free when you book. They don't make you wait 2 or 3 days to see if you're upgraded. It's a marketing ploy. It is. And that's not saying Delta's bad. Delta's got a great product. Delta's got great flight attendants. It's a good experience. They're on time. I don't know. I just think it's just so strange that in this space, so many people get it's almost like it's their football team. I'm a Chase person. I'm an Amex person. I'm like, it's not a family association. It's not a football team. You're not a fan. It's a corporation. And I'm willing to switch on that. So all of this that I'm talking about today is based upon the rational math. What is actually beneficial? And what I think is going to happen because of BILT, because you just can't argue with the math. I'm sorry, but I figured everything I spent yesterday, I got over 3.6 points per dollar because I used the accelerator and because I'm going to pay my mortgage and all that. So everything I spent, just stuff, I bought a water heater that we needed, stuff like that. And it was like 3.6 cents, 3.6 points per dollar, 3.6 points per dollar. That's what it is. That's how it maths out. Now, you could argue BILT ain't going to last, or those are other arguments, or they did the rollout bad, whatever. Those are other arguments, but those aren't math arguments. The math argument is this, is that you're getting 3.6 points per dollar on everything you spend. That's the math. And there ain't no emotion involved in that. It's just the math. So here's the thing. This changes everything because there's a new earning standard, and that is 2+. I put a plus there because, yes, when you get to really high spend thresholds, it starts to drop down, right? And it can get, I suppose if you spent 200 grand on your card and you only had 24,000 a year in mortgage or something like that, you're getting closer down to that too, but you're never getting below 2, never. In fact, it's probably pretty hard to get below 2.5 or so, but I just put it this way, 2+ points per dollar on everything is now a standard. A very valuable, I don't mean the Robinhood Gold Card that gives you 3x cash back. That ain't the same deal. Getting 2.5 or 3 or 3.6 BILT points is not like getting 3.6 cash back. It ain't the same thing. I consistently get 5+ cents per point for Atlas points consistently. So when you multiply that by the 3.6, that is just a different standard. It's just a different standard. The second thing I note here is that mortgages are huge for the target credit card consumer, the high spender. People that spend a lot of money outside of New York and LA, yes, some of those big cities, some renters spend a lot of money, but the vast majority of America, people who have the most available money to spend on credit cards are like 40 to 58 years old, and they have a mortgage. Mortgages are huge for the credit card consumer. And so that's going to be a new standard. I think it will be. And profitable customers are high spenders, or there's two kinds of very profitable customers. High spenders, and American Express knows this very well. I bet you they've had 100 strategy meetings since BILT's been doing this at American Express, because them people are smart. And I don't know what they're going to do, but they know, because they're bread and butter. That's why they're getting 12,000 spent in 6 months. Because them people know high spenders are their bread and butter. And BILT has leaned into that super heavy. The other type of high spender, and that's why this stuff may not affect Capital One at all, are the highly indebted. So people who have a lot of credit card debt and who pay interest. That's a whole different business model. And that is the business model of, and that's what Wells Fargo was hoping for the first time around with BILT, is that they'd have more people who'd carry a balance, but they didn't. But that's a different model. So those are kind of some basic realities I think have to be considered. Let's go back to some comments, because I know there've got to be a lot of comments on this. Oh man, we got 82 people in here. 82. Remember, 107 is the max I've ever had. 39 people have hit the like button. If you haven't hit the like button, please do. Also, subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel. I just reached over 2,700 subscribers this morning. Subscribe to the channel. Any kind of super chat, super sticker, even if it's just 99 cents, that helps out a ton with the algorithm. All that helps. I'm hoping to beat our max today. That would be really, really awesome. All right. RC gave a $2.99 super sticker. Thank you, RC. Appreciate it very, very much. Thank you for all your support for such a long time. Damn, some people are just grumpy and unwilling to give anything but Rove a chance or Chase a chance. Just saying. Okay. We won't get into that specifically, but yeah, I understand what you're saying. The thing is that it has been very interesting to me. I think people just don't like change, and that's kind of humanity as a whole. People just don't like change. You know, there's so many ways. I mean, go to work and let them change everything. People won't like it. Go to church. I mean, we've seen that. Churches change things, and oh man, everybody loses their mind and goes into meltdown mode. That's just true in a lot of situations, right? People don't like change. And I'm sorry, but BILT has dropped a bomb. It's a change. It's a big time change. Card Smarter says $12K in 6 months when you can use the BILT network to put rent on the card. Not sure what the fuss is. Yep, especially if you have rent. Now, for us mortgage people, it doesn't seem that we can pay our mortgage with other cards, or at least I can't figure out how to. So yeah, that would be true for rent people. Card Smarter says credit cards change based off travel goals and plans. There's never one card or card ecosystem for everything. Got to change it up unless you travel to the same places. That's a good point. In other words, you got to be flexible. Filmo, loyalty is overrated. Go where the points take you. We stayed in a Wyndham this weekend and it was great. Yeah, I've never stayed in a Wyndham, but I mean, don't they have like Days Inn and stuff? I'm never getting Nona to stay. I have spoiled that lady, and she wants to spend my points on other stuff, Conrad's and stuff. But yeah, I would stay in one for sure. One, just get Nona started sometime on when I made her stay in a place called Boxcar Willie Motel. That was straining on our relationship. She didn't like that much at all. Okay, hybrid vortex. Math is math. It is. It is. Don Kim, hey Kim, good to have you here. Math can give you irrational results if you use irrational numbers. Math joke. Yep, that's absolutely true. Servicio, 5X on the Acidium. Once you hit 25% of your rent and mortgage, math is math. Can't get that anywhere. Groceries and rent is the way to go. Yep, I have the Palladium, but yep, on the Obsidian, yeah. I mean, I just don't see how the Chase Sapphire Preferred is going to ever compete with that card, because they both have Hyatt. Love the slideshow. Thank you, Points with Philip. Points with Philip's a great channel, by the way. If you haven't been on there, he and I've even had some debates on his channel and mine. Love talking with Philip. He's a great guy. Alex goes travel. I agree. Stinky monkey baby. Math doesn't care about stinky attitudes. Just facts and numbers. Absolutely true. And Sleepy Rod. Are you transferring any Capital One miles to JAL with the current transfer bonus? I would without hesitation. Oh, I would. I tried, but I'm not, because when you open a JAL, you can't even look at redemptions for 60 days. So no, I'm not. It was really frustrating, by the way. Really frustrating. All right, 77 watching. We've dropped off a little bit, but 48 have hit the like button. That's really, really helpful. Okay, so the result of all this, and I know this is probably going to be an unpopular opinion, especially under, in the world of creators. And I never fault people. Luke said this in his live the other day that I thought was really good. I never fault these guys who are making a living on YouTube. That's great. But that's Luke made a point that that's not who he is, and that's not who I am. I mean, I have more than one job, and I love them. And I'm not a guy planning to retire because I have a flexible, cool job, and I'm gonna stick with it forever. And YouTube is my hobby. I like it. I love it. I've loved it before I ever started a channel, Points and Miles. So I'm not casting shade on anybody who does that, but let me say, it really changes all of this because the result is most cards have become mathematically irrelevant. Okay. I saw somebody the other day talking about the autograph card. It has 3x on this, 3x on this, 3x on this, and then it gets 1x on everything else. And it does have a lot of great 3x categories. And then I have often told people that the best beginning transferable currency starter card is the Premier card from the Strata Premier card. 3x on gas, 3x on groceries, 3x on dining, 3x on travel. I mean, it's great. But both of those cards are mathematically irrelevant with the Palladium card. They're irrelevant. Why? Because 3x on some categories is just not impressive when you're getting 3.6x plus on everything. You realize that that takes those cards and makes them completely obsolete. And so much so that I'm looking at my wallet and what am I even going to do on what's in my wallet videos from now on? I guess I might be able to do videos that say, let me tell you again what's in my wallet that hasn't changed. Because there's only 3. Now there's more than 3 because I have multiples of one. But there's only really 3 cards that are relevant in my wallet. I'm not meaning my backpack wallet when I'm traveling for perks. I'm not even meaning my desk wallet, that cards I use once in a while for certain things. I mean in the cards I use to spend on. There's only 3 cards. I have for airfare and for dining, 5x on both those categories with the City Prestige card. I have a custom cash for gas, 5x. I have a custom cash for sometimes gift cards. Just bought, by the way, there's a Kroger gift card deal going on that $150 up to $150, and they waive the fee in store. So you can check that out. But you could use your custom cash, that's 5x, or 5x at home improvement stores, stuff like that. And then BILT Palladium, 3.6x on everything else. That's it. I got the simplest wallet I've had in 10 years. I mean, it's simplified. It's making so many things irrelevant. And I would even argue, some people say, well, let me put it this way. It destroys 3x category cards. It destroys them. And only 4x and 5x earners have any relevance now. And I would even argue some 4x earners don't, especially if they're earning 4x in inferior points. Because what also people don't think about or factor in that piles on top of this is their BILT points. And those are the best points. I think I'd rather have, now I like American Express membership reward points, but the gold card is a 4x earner in a couple categories. We all know that. But I'm not sure I wouldn't rather just have 3.6x BILT points than 4x American Express points. They're way more versatile. They're very, very valuable. And the worst loser, in my opinion, is Chase. Chase, their big winner was always Hyatt. And their cards just absolutely, they are dinosaurs compared to what we're getting now with BILT and being able to transfer to Hyatt. They're dinosaurs. I mean, they're ready to be put in a museum. I mean, what is Chase? Especially now that you can't do the ink train. And American Express is going to survive because American Express is going to throw points at people, right? So that's a strategy. Chase used to do that. With the ink train, they used to throw points at people, but they've stopped it. They're not doing that no more. So, what do they have? These nice museum pieces, I guess. I mean, I'm just talking about the math, earning with the math. So, I mean, tell me what you think about all that. Now, I don't think they make City irrelevant because City points are very valuable, and City does have some very strong earners. And maybe for people who can't do the $4.95 annual fee, or maybe can't get a BILT card or whatever, or maybe live with their parents, don't have rent or mortgage, something like that. There are always use cases, but BILT's changing it. It's making things mathematically irrelevant. At least it seems to me. Let me see. Where are we at up here? Oh, Nona commented from Away Again Travel. He makes me sound bad, but only because I know he has the points for a better room. Yeah, there you go. Dim smiles and laughs at that one. Mark says, Jal, you can do the redemption within 7 days if you're transferring from Capital One or BILT, but don't have to wait that long anymore. Really? They've told me every time I log in and try to look, it tells me got to wait 60 days or whatever. So I'll try again, though. Thanks for the data point. I appreciate it. Stinky Monkey Baby Bop has the champagne points, so no need to settle for beer. Away Again Travels. That's exactly how that lady thinks. I'm telling you. Yeah. But you know what? She's been with me for 30 plus years, so it's just fine. She can spend my points. That's what I have them for. Stinky Monkey Baby, exactly. That's what she says. Dim, 3X Atmos is better than 4 to 5X with some other ecosystems, in my opinion. That's exactly what I'm saying. Servicio, Autograph Journey, 5X hotels, and 4X flights booked direct, 3X general travel. Now, yeah, I mean, it starts to get interesting with 5X, right? That's a $95 card. You do have an easy airline credit with that card to get back half the annual fee, gets it down to $45. No big deal. So there's an argument. I mean, like I said, it makes irrelevant the 3X categories, not the 4 and 5X categories necessarily. So there's a card that would still possibly have a place in somebody's wallet. Good point. Stinky Monkey says, do you think math still works out if BILT's favor, even for low spenders or those earning 5X points on other cards? Any exceptions here? Well, like I said, I'm not going to use it for my dining. I mean, I purchased some dining things yesterday, and I was on a BILT terror yesterday, but I pulled out my 5X prestige card. I mean, why wouldn't I? I think City points are awesome too, the thank you points. So I'm going to keep using my 5X categories with City all day, every day. So, but the problem is that there were so many cards built upon those 3X categories. I mean, think about it. Start going through in your mind all the cards that advertise 3X, 3X, 3X. And now it's like, okay, you got 3X. How cute is that? I mean, when BILT says, hold my drink here, this is what, let me show you what multipliers are. That's exactly what's happening. So yeah, for low spenders, I think it's a different equation for low spenders. I really do. Now, when I say low, I think if a person's spending $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month, it still gets great with the Palladium card. But for very low spenders, yeah, I think the math's different. If somebody doesn't have rent or mortgage or super low rent or mortgage, I think the math's different. But I'm talking about here, the kind of typical ability of people to spend. Greg, channel member, says P1 player one has Palladium using BILT pass-through for my mortgage to Atmos for 3X. Got the points accelerator. So just treating the BILT card as a 3X on everything. Chase spend now 0. Yep, that's what I'm saying. Chase is becoming a dinosaur. All their cards are. Now, the one exception is the Chase Inc. Cash. I use the Chase. I did a members only video this week about how I use the Chase Inc. Catch to get 5X on all my Walmart purchases and stuff. So yeah, I think the Chase Inc. Catch is still a worker because it has a 5X category. I mean, that's the thing. The BILT gift card did not work, not even online. Oh, okay. Alex goes travel. Alex says, I agree that Palladium takes over ecosystem and 3X cards. I'll just wait till the end of the year and maybe get it. Yeah, I mean, it just is a fact. It just is. Nuracan, if only BILT could have been a Visa than a MasterCard and you could shop at Costco. Yeah, a lot of people are going to say that because Costco. But why does Costco do that? I don't even know, but whatever. Mark says, City and BILT points are the only ones worth earning at this point. BILT has all the good Chase partners, and Amex points are not that exciting. Yeah, not anymore. But I'm going to keep earning Amex for sign-up bonuses as long as they keep, just shoveling points at me. I'll keep doing it. I mean, and that may be Amex's strategy going forward. It may be. And those people are smart. They'll figure something out. Polygraph Zone, Rewards Master. With your new wallet being simplified, are you adding 500 annual fee? Where are you making up the difference? Are you canceling any annual fee cards? Or are you just counting the increased multipliers? For me, I think we might dump the Strata Elite card because the 6X on City Nights isn't that much better than my Prestige at 5X all the time. The rest of our cards are kind of, they're kind of lifestyle cards. Like we use our Hilton Aspire for Hilton stays and the Ritz-Carlton for Marriott stays and stuff like that. But as far as the only one that I think was in there as an earner was probably the Elite card, and we'll probably downgrade that to another custom cash to get another 5X category. So Polygraph Zone, I would have not included cards that you've already been considering or have already canceled. Curious. That would help. That could help understand better. Okay. Not sure exactly what you're meaning. Maybe you can clarify. Hybrid Vortex. I have to keep PayPal debit for Costco because they don't take a MasterCard. Yeah, Costco is a unique situation. Has anyone tried getting a Costco gift card on the Costco site with their BILT card? Ooh, that'd be an interesting play. Don't have a Costco near me, so we didn't even do that. I love Costco, though, when we used to live near them. But Greg says, for your information, for Costco, you can purchase a virtual Costco gift cards with a MasterCard and load it up to your account. Very simple. Hey, there's the hack. There you go. There's the hack. Green Knight. Good to have you here, Green Knight. Responding to Greg says, thank you for the data point. Going to use the Summit for mortgage and Obsidian for Forex. So you've gotten the Summit to work for your mortgage. I couldn't figure out how to do that on there. I'll have to work on it because I'm willing to pay the 3% to get 3X Atmos points on my mortgage. That would be pretty awesome. Dim says, I'm cutting my annual fees from $44.30 to $2,300 by next January. Is that because of Palladium? Be interesting to know. User Z says, with Rakuten transferring to BILT now, I'd say Amex could make a case for the worst loser. Yeah, but Amex has a play. They haven't stopped the points parade. Chase has stopped their points parade. That's why I think they're probably the biggest losers. But yeah, they're losing out on selling all those Rakuten points, I would guess. Nuracan, yep, that shop cart at Costco didn't work for me. Okay, I'm sorry to hear that. Dim, I'll have to try that, Nuracan. And Dim says yes because of the Palladium. All right. We got 88 watching. 61 have hit the like button. If you haven't done that, please hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, of course. Also, don't forget, Nona's away again travels. Maybe she'll get more than 100. I think she has 112 today. Maybe she'll get more subscribers. And any kind of super chat, super sticker, even if it's just a tiny amount, that helps the algorithm. Love, before we get off here, another 17, 20 minutes, I'd love to hit our total highest number. We're pretty close. All right. So this is the big shift for credit card content and influencers. And I'm talking about this as a content creator and influencer. There are today less honest options to present. Now, I was just talking to Nona about this before I put this all together. You can present the Aspire card because that's not about spending. You can present the Bonvoy Brilliant card. That's not about spending. That's about, getting platinum status with Marriott and stuff. There's a lot of cards like that. But as far as this is a great card because you get 3X on this and 3X on this and 3X on this. That's like, why? Why? Maybe for the rare use case, but it just has changed the game. It's just changed the game. Alternatives must be in spite of the math and apply to low spenders or focus on bonuses. Now, there's a lot that can be said about, well, this card's got a great bonus. This isn't going to change bonus hunting, right? It isn't going to change that. but it really changes everything else. And I think there will be people that are going to recommend cards in spite of the math because of what we talked about, the being a fanboy of something or being loyal to something or whatever. There's just going to be a lot of that, but it's going to be in spite of the math. It's not going to be because of the math, because math don't lie. Math is math. 3.6 is better on everything than 3 in certain categories. And it's going to impact referrals. And I'm going to be really interested because I don't get no referrals. I mean, I always put it down below, but nobody ever seems to use them. So, you know, if anybody of you want to use one of my referrals, that would be cool. You'd be like the first or second one ever. But I don't get those, so I don't think about them that much. But I know a lot of folks, they just live and breathe on referrals. Well, here's the thing. BILT's going to have referrals, and I'm going to put them out there because I'm a fan right now because I'm a fan of Bop. But man, some of the best referrals are paid by some of the not very good cards. I mean, it's just a fact. So I think that's going to impact things a lot going forward. Let me go back up and see what we got going here. We got 90 in here, getting close. 107 is the top number ever. So hit the like button. You want to drop a 99-cent super sticker, any of that, that helps as well. Hoping to get to, we get 17 more. We're there. That would be awesome. Let me see. Where did I get to? All right. MJ Tastic, great name, by the way, channel member, says, hey, Rewards Master, even for low spenders, it's 3X due to the accelerator. Yeah, that's right. It is. I mean, it's 3X. I mean, yeah, it's just hard to beat. Romine, I always struggle with your name. I'm sorry about that. Romine says, my question is how much money regular people spend in a catch-all category? Well, I don't know about other people, but it's probably 60 to 65% of all my spend. I mean, is in catch-all. But the great thing is that even in some categories, it beats the 3X cards. Just your catch-all number beats the 3X category cards. So that's what's crazy about it. Barry Rose, very good to have you here. Wondering if the best way to use BILT and Atmos Summit card. Don't want to lose my Atmos status, but would love to have some type of combination that increases Atmos points with a mortgage. Yeah, I'm still experimenting with that. So I want to give you, some people on here are reporting they're paying their mortgage with their Atmos card. I do not know how to do that, but I'm going to be trying. So stay tuned in the future because I don't want to give you wrong advice, but it's, I'm going to be trying because I want to do that too. Because I mean, I think they pay 3 points per dollar on Atmos cards. That would be incredible. I'll just use my Palladium for other stuff. Emmy is here. Emmy's glad to catch a live. Great to have you here. Great to have you here. Okay. John Little, still like the Barkley Earner Plus and 4X Dining and 4X Grocery. And I get more than 1 cent per point on my points at the Wyndham Grand I like. Okay, cool. I mean, again, you're at 4X. That's a good earning. And 4X is better than 3.6. So, like I said, the only cards that I'm thinking it's making totally obsolete in dinosaurs are just 3X. But 3X is in the, I mean, before a month ago, 3X was a gold standard in a lot of areas, right? Now it's not. Romine, I don't have a mortgage or rent. I use the gold card for 4X groceries and restaurants, CSR for 4X points on airlines, Flex, 5X, whatever category I have 4 of them. City Custom Cash, 5X gas, another one, 5X, whatever. Yeah, I mean, that's a good setup. You're smart. That is a true master credit card setup to get 4 and 5X on so many categories. So, I mean, on those categories, those may be better than this, but I'm saying for most people who are spending a lot in 3X categories, makes it obsolete. Alex Goes Travel. The fact that it has a referral, unfortunately, you might not find honest reviews. Yeah, that's true. The referrals, I worry about that, although I would never want to accuse somebody of that because I like to assume the best, that people are being honest, but some of the cards people really push, I just don't see them as being that great. Stage 3, Cam, good to have you, Stage 3. I would love to use your city referral. Oh, wait. There you go. Ain't got one because Citi don't do referrals. I don't think Wells Fargo does either. That's true. That's true. All right. We got about 80 in here. Please hit the like button. Let's see. Let's go on to the next one. Okay. Possible outcomes of BILT 2.0. First possible outcome, BILT fails. A lot of people are predicting this one. And viability, I suppose, is a real concern. You know, just like your mama used to say, if something's too good to be true, it probably is. If it seems too good to be true, it probably is. It does seem too good to be true. Is it too good? I don't know. Secondly, high spending may save them. I think it's possible. I think they've kind of done the math. That's why you got this. So many people are so upset. The Four Bananas crowd was very upset because it's like, I mean, they were used to getting free points that was being subsidized by $10 million a month by Wells Fargo. Well, they've done the math, and their math is that we can give you your points on your mortgage if you spend 75% of that every month. That's the math. So maybe their math is good, and maybe they'll be able to sustain it long haul. I hope so. I really hope so. So a cautious play for me, I'm going to transfer often. I might hold 50,000 in the BILT account to wait for transfer bonuses. You know, they have some great transfer bonuses. So I might hold 50,000, and then when it gets to 10 or 15 or 20,000 above that, transfer those points, because I'm trusting but verifying, you know, kind of where I'm going to look at it here. I want to get that high earning, but I mean, we'll see how well they do. I think the other possibility too is they may nerf it all. I mean, that could happen, but make hay while the sun is shining. That's what they say. So that's a possible outcome. Let's see. We got almost 80 in here right now. 68 likes. Hit the like button, subscribe. Second possible outcome. I don't think we have any extra comments to go over. Second possible outcome, little changes. Okay. Loyalty is based upon emotional connection rather than rational evaluations. And what I mean by little changes here is that things may not change that much, because people may still be loyal to Chase just because they're Chase people. People may still be loyal to Amex because I'm an Amex fan, whatever. I mean, loyalty is pretty strong. I mean, I used to live in Michigan, and I mean, Detroit Lions fans are loyal to the Detroit Lions, and they didn't have a reason to be for a long time, right? I mean, they just didn't. But they are. So loyalty doesn't have to always be rational. So that might happen. I mean, I don't know. I think that's what some of the card companies probably got to hope will happen. But also, people sometimes stick with what they know and what they feel comfortable with, right? BILT's botched rollout stuff does make people uncomfortable. I mean, like me, I told you I did a test payment to my mortgage because I'm verifying, right? I'm wanting to make sure I'm comfortable with it. And influencers may push what benefits them to the uninformed. And so there may be people who still think that Freedom Unlimited is a great card. You know, there may be people who think that because that's all they hear from somebody that they trust, that Freedom Unlimited is a great card. Well, you know, I don't think it's a very good card, and I'm never going to really push it, but maybe there will be people who do. So I think that's the second possible outcome. So that would be not a lot of change because people are very loyal, you know, whether it's rational or not, because people stick with what they know and are comfortable with it. And because some people may push something and others who don't know any different may listen. I think that's possible too. And then possible outcome number 3, everything changes for the better. And this is my hope. I hope that BILT gets so many customers and that they're thriving, and all the other card companies are like, oh crud, what are we going to do? Because Chase is losing customers, Amex is losing customers. And if that happens, then everything will get better. That means other companies will let us pay our mortgage and earn points. They may start a trend. That means 3x multipliers will become the norm. I mean, catch-all multipliers, 3x. That means cards that attempt to compete through higher category multipliers will become common. So rather than seeing 3x be the standard on dining or 3x be the standard on hotels or travel, that standard may move up. We may see some 4x on several category cards, and we may see some that get up 6 or 7x on one category. And all of that could be awesome. And it may all be because of BILT. Now, the other two possibilities could happen. Things could not change much, or BILT could not be sustainable. But these are my thoughts about it all. It's not really predictions, it's just thoughts. So we're at 55 minutes, and I'm done with my slides here. So let me go back up and catch up on some of the comments. We got a lot of them. Okay, Kale Mary's here and says 3.3x Atmos on rent with B of A checking account is a nice kicker. Yep, it is good. It is good. Stinky Monkey Baby says those Atmos mortgage hacks should certainly live behind a paywall. Yep, probably should. Ramachak, I need to open 3 to 4 cards between me and my wife and spend 15K plus on my World of Hyatt to reach Explorer status. I don't even have Hilton Surpass yet for 15 free night certificate. What else can I possibly put on Palladium? Yeah, it doesn't sound like you have a lot of extra spend to put there because you've got a plan for your spending. And those are, like I said, those are different cards. Those are specific cards that give you a specific benefit for high spend, which is a different situation than what we're talking about. Alex Goes Travel. With Atmos, you pay the 3%, but with B of A, you earn 3.3. So it's a 3.3 benefit. Yeah, if you have a B of A account, you get that extra boost of 10% on all your earnings. Dim, you get 3x on the 3% with Atmos 2. Dim says, or 3.1 with the B of A. KRS, I used the BILT 1.0 for a catch-all until BILT pulled the rug out from underneath me and changed the terms. I don't trust BILT and cardless long-term. They have their issues. I agree. They do. That's the question. Are they going to be able to overcome them? Romine says, oh, and few thousands on my Chase Inc. cash in Staples. Yeah, I do some of that myself. Charvicio transferred 15K BILT points for a flight to New York City for the week of Christmas, 3.4 cents per point. 15,000 BILT, 3.4 cents per point. That's what we're talking about. Very, very valuable. I'm sitting this one out. It's not worth the new account on my credit reports. Okay, makes sense. Stinky Monkey Baby, 2.07, $2.07, commemorating February 7th, BILT 2.0 launch day. That is one of the coolest gifts that we've gotten just because of the thoughtfulness in it. That's very cool. And A-tier $54.99 super sticker. Thank you, A-tier. Appreciate that very much. For BILT at Costco, buy shop cards online. We've talked about that. Did it Saturday and elected email delivery, shop card in Costco. So that's how people get around it with Costco. And Dim says multipliers are only as good as how you can redeem those points as you rack up. Just hope they don't nerf the transfer ratios. All right, I'm about to wrap up. I do want to tell y'all about my newest channel membership tier. It's above my RM Insiders, and it is $19.99 a month. You can cancel anytime, just like the other, but I call it Spreadsheet Warriors. And what it gives is direct access where we're going to have a Zoom session at least once a month, and where we're face-to-face talking about things online. And that's the tier that I'm now offering. You can check it out in the join page on my webpage. I mean, as far as my channel, my YouTube channel. And also, we're going to record all those sessions. They'll be made available to Spreadsheet Warriors. So just wanting to get the word out there about that if anybody has an interest. I appreciate everybody for being here today. A lot of people gave gifts today. A-tier gave $4.99. Thank you. Stinky Monkey Baby gave the memorable $2.07 commemorating BILT Day. That was very cool. Going back up, I know we had some more. RC gave a $2.99 super sticker. Big Kurt gave $2. Thank you, Big Kurt. Appreciate that. Charvicio gifted 1 Rewards Master membership. That's very, very helpful. And Dim gave $1.99. Thank you, Dim. Appreciate that. So thank you, everybody who helped support it today. I don't know that all of this, what it'll mean as we move forward, but I think that definitely BILT 2.0 is going to change things. And you know what? I'm just going to be along for the ride, and hope you are too. Appreciate y'all being here. Nona and I are getting ready to do some travels, and we'll have some new hotel reviews and stuff like that on her channel over at Away Again Travel. So go check that out. Subscribe if you haven't. Appreciate you very much. And I will see you here next time.